Hello, chemistry. I have an empirical formula problem for you. This is off of empirical formulas packet, and it's number 7A, and it involves phosphorus and oxygen, and it has two percentages. The two percentages add up to 100. So what we do is we make the assumption that if we had 100 grams of this compound, then these percentages would exactly be a gram quantity. So I would have 56.34 grams phosphorus. And we're going to put that over 1. And I would also have 43.66 grams oxygen. Now each of these we need to turn into moles, so I'm going to put 1 mole over the molar mass of each of these respectively. And if you look on your periodic table, you'll find phosphorus is 30.97. And you'll find oxygen to be 16.00. So each of these turns into a division, and when I calculate my answer, I'm going to get 1.82 for the phosphorus and 2.73 for the oxygen. Notice how I'm doing at least 2 to the right of the decimal. That's going to make my division come out appropriately in the second step. So make sure you do at least give 2 to the right of the decimal. Now ultimately, we want to know the ratio between phosphorus and oxygen in this case. And so we want to know what is x and y. And it's a ratio of one to the other. And so we've converted them into moles, which allows us to compare. Grams is not an adequate comparison. And so once I've got them both in moles, I'm going to divide by the smaller of the two. In this case is 1.82. And this is going to get me a 1 to something ratio. And this one comes out to a 1, whereas the other actually comes out to a 1.5. Now, this is not a whole number ratio. Therefore, we've got to multiply each of these by successive values to see what they end up being. And so I'm going to put a P, I'm going to create a little chart and an O here, and I'm going to put my 1 and my 1.5. And so now here's the story. I'm going to multiply them by successive values, integers, until I get a whole number ratio. The 1 and the 1.5 happens to be times 1. If we multiply them times 2, I get a 2, and then 1.5 times 2 gets me a 3. I get a 2 to 3 ratio. Voila! I have a whole number ratio. So what that really means is my answer that gets me full points is the formula with the actual values in place. So the answer is P2O3. And that would be what we want to, that's what we want to show as our final answer. I'll write it one more time. P2O3. Hope you enjoyed.